Commanders new and old, welcome. Today we are going to be talking about the story of Project MATIS and the impact it has had on the community since its release. We are not too far away from the next story, which is a collaboration between Persona and NIKKE, and finally with the release of the epilogue I thought it'd be nice to go over the story in its entirety. What I liked, what I thought could be improved, and some spoiler rants at the end. So sit back and relax, because today we're going to be talking about becoming a hero in NIKKE. This is Project MATIS. Our story begins with Syuen having flashbacks to an earlier time. During this entire story, we're actually given the backstory for Syuen, her family struggles, and what she had to inherit being the youngest CEO in the arc. From the beginning, I already knew that they would endear me to Syuen in some way, but I didn't quite expect them to do it in the way that they did. At the beginning of the year, they already stated that they were going to talk about the history of the big three CEOs, Syuen, Tetraline, and Missilis. And we've already got two of those at the previous events this year. So when I found out that Project MATIS had this picture, I already knew what we were expecting. And it definitely delivered. The story is impactful and hits in ways that I would not expect, and the characterization is very good. And while I'm sure people who have not caught up to the story can sit here and enjoy it, definitely helps to know a lot of the story. They had certain motifs that were rhymed and framed in such brilliant ways, and some pleasant Easter eggs for those eagle-eyed people. We've seen a side of Syuen that we have never seen before, and it recontextualizes all the interactions that we've had with her in the story. Seeing what she had to go through, what she had to overcome, and the ghost of her father and how it influences her actions even now, is no wonder that she behaves the way she does. Same with Laplace. Laplace has always been seen as a little bit of a comedic character, but there are moments, those rare moments where they're very serious with her. And they play this up here as well. She is still that same goofball that we know, but we kind of see the origins of all of these things. Even a gag that we've seen repeatedly with her has a very serious and very important meaning on why she keeps doing that. And of course, we can't talk about Project MATIS without talking about Maxwell. She draws the eye and the ear. The way she talks, how she handles and deals with Syuen and other aspects of Missilis. There is a reason why this costume is the mission pass for this month, and definitely something that I will be purchasing. We end up learning a lot more about the world of NIKKE and the arc itself, as well as some very important bits about how the NIKKEs are created. Not only that, but certain faces of characters are revealed, and others' motivations are also shown. But even if you haven't caught up with the story, even if you're just going in blind, I feel like this story will still hit, and that's what makes it so good. There are a couple things that I did not like. The absence mostly of one of the members of MATIS is a little jarring considering where they stand now as the strongest team of the arc. They do explain this to a point, but I find it hard to believe that they couldn't find a way to include them a little bit more. Granted, I think the story would suffer, and that's more than likely why, outside of the fact that they may have just needed more time for the sprite work. And the funny thing is, that's about the only thing I can think about because I've actually liked this story that much. I'm not trying to be biased here. I enjoyed Project MATIS from top to bottom. So much so that I think we should have a spoiler section here. So if you don't want to hear the spoilers and actually want to experience the story yourself, skip to this timestamp if you just want to hear the final thoughts. All in all, Enmei's shadow cast over Syuen is ever-reaching and long, to the point where even to this day, Syuen still looks up and reveres her father. I believe that Enmei's appearance is going to rattle Syuen down to her core, and it's definitely going to shake up things in a major way. Laplace, basically NIKKE's Captain America at this point. Her life, her past was horrible, and I know that it was touched upon a bit in her Bond story and her favorite item, but seeing it and how bad it was really hit home. And the parallels to Syuen as they both are watching the same screen somewhere else, watching the same show, and how that served as an inspiration and inevitable link between the two. When Syuen has already been corrupted and sent down a darker path, Laplace shows up and connects to her in the only way that a hero can. It doesn't help that she's been basically given a super serum by becoming a NIKKE and wielding Mjolnir later. Learning about Jean, on the other hand, has been a delight. Her eccentricities, especially when she was younger, is very telling. However, it does expose how much she truly cares about her family. We had an idea how much she cared considering what she did to Mihara and Uni after what happened to Syuen before. But seeing how far it went and how long it's gone on for, she truly cares for her sister, even if she herself is twisted. She is much more like her father than she would like, but she uses it in a way that is more true to herself. But since we're talking about Jean, we obviously have to talk about Maxwell. Maxwell, the human engineer, the ordinary mechanic. I was rooting for her the whole time. She became the mother figure for Syuen that she never had, at least the closest thing to one. And Enmei knew this and used it against her, putting Syuen further down the path of being the monster that he created, someone that he can use later. And he wins in the end. She becomes a shell of herself, to the point where Syuen actually does go through, threatens the board members, and some of them do get killed. Maxwell resigning did not sit well with her. So when Jean sent that letter and that bomb and blew her up, I audibly gasped. I could not believe what was happening. And even more so, the saddest thing, the fact that she did not want to become a NIKKE, she wanted to be human, and Syuen, knowing this, crying, she apologizes, but she can't live without her. Be a NIKKE so you can be here forever. NIKKE Maxwell is not human Maxwell. And sure enough, when she awakens in her NIKKE body, she goes all the way. To the point where actually later on, I was thinking that maybe she actually did just separate. Maybe it was like an instantaneous mind switch that she went to. Now, I don't think that's the same Maxwell, but then my other neurons kicked on, and no, she is fully acting and doing her very best to punish Syuen for those actions and to appeal to her humanity the best way. She is still her loyal Maxwell, but she's using the NIKKE as a shield. Laplace is still Laplace. She has not changed at all from becoming a NIKKE. And so there's no way, shape, or form that the same thing would happen with Maxwell. There's moments where she's clearly referencing Syuen and the things that she did to the board members. She's clearly remembering that and referencing it. So to this day, Maxwell is there. And now that Enmei is returning, Maxwell may have to drop the act because Syuen's going to need all the help she's going to get before he pulls off whatever plan he has. Still, this story and this event is very fun, down to the obviously great music, to the characters, to the art. All of it is done very well. And if you have that photo roll to spend on this event in the future, I highly recommend that you do so. Thank you guys for watching this video, and before you go, let's just have a little bit of a talk. What is your favorite moment of Project MATIS? Comment down below, and for those who didn't finish, beware of spoilers, it will be down there. I would love to have a conversation with you guys about this. I truly enjoyed this event, just like I enjoyed so many others. The Persona NIKKE collab is upcoming, and I have no idea if this story will be as impactful as that. Until then, I'm just going to sit with Project MATIS and feel the weight of what it means to be a hero. Thanks for listening. Have a good night, Commanders.